Hello everyone, my name is Rodolfo from MiningMath support team, and I am recording this informal video to introduce you to the new implementation that was developed to the software SimSched Optimizer, and also to explain to you, what benefits you extract from that and what changes you are expected to see after applying this new function, this new implementation. So we're calling this new function as additive constraints. And first of all, what it is, additive constraints? It's basically a limit to any sum of value of a certain property present in your block model. So any property, any column of your block model that has a property that can be summed, and this sum can be limited to a certain value, we are calling that additive constraints. So an example for that is the fleet hours. You will have a value for fleet hours for each block to be extracted from the origin point until a different destination. And this value you sum all the blocks that are going to be mined and directed to a certain destination, and you can what you can do now is to limit this value to a range. It can be both minimal or a maximum value, or just minimum or just maximum, and so on. A different example of that would be fuel or energy consumption, which also can be summed and then limited afterwards. And finally, on this example that you are seeing on the spreadsheet is related to the metal production after applying recovery rate. So this is the metal production after the processing plant, and I've run 3 cases, so then you can see, and we're going to cover that in order to compare all of that. So so the first one, it's a free case without this restriction. Okay, so the SimSched delivered these value for this case, and also this ultimate bit, as you can see here, nothing new. Okay, so moving on, this was restricted to the metal production just for copper, which was restricted for 1 million ton. And after the optimization process, SimSched delivered a production that was respecting, okay, this limit was imposed 999 kilotons in this case, and metal production maintained still comparing to the free case. And also you can see changes obviously on the total movement on the to the process or to the dump, but the grades are kept very still, which is the target, right, to increase the value of the project. And also the penalty observed on the discounted cash flow. But the interesting thing is that you can see the difference on the results after applying this restriction. Okay, so as you can see here, the restriction delivered a solution with a smaller pit, right? So the bigger one is the free case, and the smaller one is the constraint case for copper. So this is what happens after putting that restriction. And moving on the final case, I limited to gold and copper, right? Copper was limited to the same as previously, but gold was applied a restriction for 0.6 million tons, which reasonably respected these value after the optimization process, and grades were accordingly high and as expected. So, well, obviously penalties on the total tonnage and also on the scan flow. But the interesting thing is related to this one, right, which is the ultimate pit. After applying the restriction on the metal production, both for copper and for gold. So as you can see here, right, SimSched delivers a smaller pit, but well, and just to make it clear, the same restrictions were imposed. The minimum pit bottom, which is already a operational parameter that already exists on SimSched, was limited to the same value for both of them, to 100 meters. So the only difference between them was the additive constraint on the metal production, and it delivered, as you can see, right? This is interesting. As you can see, the 3 pits, basically almost all of them starting on the same spot, but with one inside another, each other, but smaller as you restricted the metal production. Okay, so this is what the new implementation delivers. And finally, just to let you know, right, SimSched also delivers different solutions. So mine block, all the spreadsheet contain the mine blocks are present on the 3 cases. So they might have different solutions as you specify a new constraint, and so on. It will deliver a different solution in order to maximize the value as you're putting another restriction. So, well, this is the main feature, right, of the new restriction, and our team is already working to implement that on the SimSched DBS, which is our scheduler, right, or direct block scheduler. And well, stay tuned that we'll be publishing more videos, and thanks for watching.